Hello and welcome everyone to episode 184 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, Brandon Bovia, freelance letterer extraordinaire, and I feel like for our listeners, this was probably the episode that you were all waiting for. I think to some degree that was also last week with the Luffy versus Sanji fight that that was just wonderfully painful. But, the pain train has not stopped.
No. I mean, all I can do is just like a slow clap, especially to all of the people in the comments, especially our Patreon, who are like, the Sanji pudding ship. Welcome to that ship. I ship them all the time. Just completely had me buying into it. And then this set happens. I'm like, oh, son of a... This just got me hook, line, sinker.
And that's a good twist, right?
Yeah,
because we'll get to it at the very end of the podcast this week. But it's the kind that just has just out of left field completely.
Yeah, but it also feels maybe not, earned is probably not the best way to put that, but more just like it doesn't feel like so out of left field. It's like, oh, come on,
Yeah, it's not needless. Well. It's cruel, but it's not needlessly cruel.
Yeah, it matches what we've seen so far of Big Mom's family.
yeah, very much so.
And I mean, all I can say, I honestly that was my big takeaway for this week was just bravo to everybody who commented about pudding, but didn't reveal, didn't show their hand whatsoever.
Yeah. I think, man, we have a great listenership. We have a great audience for that, and I'm banking on y'all to be good for some of the other just in general for our remaining roughly 300 chapters. There's a lot of good stuff that you could say. Don't say
it because then you get reactions like this. Because holy crap, can't believe it. Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't even. I mean, it's. I'm acting like it's like that's the only thing that matters in this set. No, the entire set was still really good. Even if it didn't have this twist, it'd be another great set of how we get things going. But it really does come down to poor Sanji, but also the implications of this is going in a much different direction than I ever thought.
Yeah.
I was under the impression of maybe join up with Big Mom in order to take on the Vinsmokes, but now it's like, we might be going the opposite.
Yeah, you were wondering, way back on Zoe, it was like, I say way back, it was like 20 chapters ago, but who is the villain of Whole Cake Island? I guess you kind of have your answer now.
we kind of have our answer, even though the Vinsmokes are certainly not good.
Oh yeah, no, they still suck. Don't get me wrong.
No. Oh gosh. Wouldn't care unless it wasn't if it wasn't for Sanji being involved. That's how it really comes down to. So
100%.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah. I can't wait any further. Let's just get to it. Chapter 846, Tamago Security, and we got. Draw some rabbits for our request from Eiichiro Oda of Tokyo. What the? I don't know what's going on there with the question and an answer, and I whatever. It's
that person. Maybe that person's name is also Eiichiro Oda.
I guess.
Sure. Yeah,
I don't know who MS is. I don't know. I see MS. My first thought is Masahiro Sakurai. I'm like, that's not it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have no clue. Yeah, I can't even.
I couldn't even begin to interpret that one.
Yeah, but I do like Luffy stretching his ears. They look like rabbit ears. It's cute.
Yeah, it's very cute, and we get to see at least part of the battle of Luffy and Nami versus that entire group coming after them.
I mean, the first shot is just like a bunch of corpses.
Yeah, all the pawns knocked out as Luffy's fighting for his life in this. And you know what? This might be one of Nami's best moments, because it not that she does anything remarkable here, but she didn't run. She stayed with Luffy. Yeah. Just, I'm with him. I'm here. Did not run. They're together the entire time. It's not a further split, anything like that. Just,
I think it helps. Maybe she would have run if Chopper and or Usopp were here, but I think that it is just Luffy. It's like, no, I gotta show up for my captain. And really, like Nami's been kind of on the ball, I think, pretty much from the word go.
It's been a great demonstration for her throughout Whole Cake.
Yep.
I very much appreciate that. And I get to see the lady with the giant hat do her thing. And this is Lady Amande, who uses Slow Ballad, who cuts King Bomb, but in such a way he doesn't die. He just, in the most anguished way possible. It's just like, nah, I don't kill. I just cut him in the most excruciating speed possible. So it's, just imagine it slowly doing that. It's like, oh God, just kill
like him. Because King Bomb isn't human, it's like, oh, we can get a little more violent with it.
Yeah, we can. That's horrifying.
Yeah, which is, of course, a very funny contrast to the next page, and you have Montdor just, like, floating on books.
I know. It's almost a demonstration that the women are almost more vicious with the Charlotte family than the men.
So, yeah, because all the men we've seen so far are kind of goofy, right? Like, we saw the eldest son, what was it, Parasparrow, talking to Caesar a little while back, and he's just like, he's got this big old tongue, like he's another real goofball. But yeah, all of the women are psychopaths.
Which should have really been a hint for us. That feels more like foreshadowing now. Who knows for sure, but...
And even more on that, the cream guy here with his cream monster attack, like, here's another weirdo.
Yeah. And they do take notice of, like, Luffy is good. They're like, oh, the chess peacekeepers you're fighting are no slouch and you're crushing them. So good on you. But Luffy, the sweet cream is like, oh, it'll burn your flesh when you're in there.
It's flammable. Oh my God.
Holy crap. And the only reason they're caught is because he got put into the world of books with thanks to Montdor. And Nami's in there as well. And oh God, to see Luffy get that combo, like cream punch with two guys coming out of the books and just smashing him in between. It is one of the most definitive losses Luffy's had since pre-time skip.
Oh, like Marineford
and so forth, and the islands.
Yeah, and well, I guess it makes sense, right? Because, well, one, he just got completely, destroyed by Sanji, right? Like, because he refused to fight, and then he fought an entire army, and also, fought 8 crackers for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
So it
been is a Luffy to his brink.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think that's fair that, in order for the story to move on, and at this point, and, to really kind of sell the hopelessness of the situation, like, yeah, he can't fight off Big Mom's army forever.
No. Like, maybe would have stood a better chance if he didn't have to fight Cracker for how long. But with this, it's just done. And it is even Nami even loses her ace in the hole because Amande reaches right in there and takes away the Viva card.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's interesting to me. Well, of course that you're like, yeah, the peacekeepers are also homies, so that's why they were not, all that stuff. But it's interesting that, like, one, why do you have Big Mom's Viva card? And it, she notices it says Lola on it, and it's like, wait, did they kill her? So it's really interesting that was their first assumption. Like, oh, they killed that right away. All right.
Yeah, it's like, no, she's my friend. She gave it to me. It's like, we'll have to tell Mama. She ordered us to take you in alive, so let's get going. So, yeah, it's oh god, and the fact that they're trying to take it away, and Luffy just grabs onto the grass, like, no, I'm staying for Sanji, and he just gets stomped on, and God, I love the dedication there. That is so pure Luffy. And Luffy has a lot of good moments of stubbornness in this set.
He does. Yeah. No, I feel God, everybody's kind of on point here, even though, again, like, things are kind of dire right now. Which, well, you wouldn't assume that seeing this next scene where we kind of transition to this whole cake chateau with Big Mom talking to Sanji. She's just like, okay.
Yeah. You want to let your current companions in the Straw Hats leave the island alive? Sure. If you don't try to escape and submit your wedding like a good boy, I'll turn a blind eye to a number of things. It's like, I promise to make Pudding happy. He's like, he sounds like you got a real thing for my daughter. That's excellent. But let me be clear. These are things I would normally never allow. Destroying the seducing woods, eliminating a general, eating my sweets back on Fishman Island. But your wedding is the priority. And I like the extra, intonation of all this after learning about what you learned from Pudding later on.
Oh, yeah.
And what the plan actually is.
Because it's like, you think like, oh, she's just excited about the wedding, right? And of course, she's very excited about the wedding cake. That part is probably very true still.
Yes.
But it is like Big Mom almost has this like one-track mind, or just, well, she understands that. Yeah, Straw Hat did all these things to piss me off, but like, I really
want German 66's military power, so
yeah. Like, it's kind of not the biggest. Yeah, Straw Hat, Luffy running around is just kind of a inconvenience, basically.
Yep. Oh man. So we switch over to Baron Tamago, who's at the treasure repository, and we get some lore, some more lore about the poneglyphs that did not expect. It's rather interesting. Mm-hmm. So according to Tamago, scattered throughout the world, there is a text on stone tablets that have survived unbroken for hundreds of years. It is said that there are roughly 30 poneglyphs in existence. Of them, 9 contain essential information, and by assembling and following them to the final island of Raftel, the stones will begin to speak the truth of the world. And then, some girl is dealing with General Smoothie at the same time. It's like, oh no, and we'll get into that later because that's a horrifying aspect in of itself.
Yeah, it is.
But in order to actually reach the island of Raftel, we need the 4 red road poneglyphs, which we already know. And we find out that thanks to the stone that Jinbei brought them, the Big Mom pirates currently are in possession of 3 poneglyphs, 2 ordinary ones, and 1 road poneglyph. So it makes you wonder, are the poneglyphs that contain information on the super weapons real poneglyphs, or are they part of just the regular poneglyphs? That's like, what are the essential information if the stuff that like those weapons are in there, no, just in regular ones?
Yeah, that I feel like is still kind of unclear, even based on the things that I know. It does make me wonder. Because like this isn't the first time we've heard of like the real poneglyphs, which is sort of a strange term in and of itself, but is kind of it's a weird translation thing. But the sort of there's the real poneglyph, but they're all poneglyphs, so that they're all there's the 9 that are just more special. But Robin did mention way back in Alabasta that those were the ones that she was searching for, and I think what she said back then, or maybe said at some other point, but I think this is information that we should know by this point, I think it is specifically, like, those are the ones that tell, like, the true history of the world.
Yeah, those are definitely the ones she's interested in. But how they're marked as different, how do you know the difference? I have no idea on that one.
I have no idea either. I don't know if that is ever clear, or if that will ever become clear, or if it's just a case of like yeah, you know, a lot of the, you know, the poneglyphs we've seen, I guess they do all. Yeah, no, it's tricky for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm also curious when like if that is ever going to come into play, because right now I'm like, what's the difference? But it's good to know. It's good to know that like that is somewhat relevant information, and that there are only about 30, which is kind of a lot less than I thought there would be.
Especially because it feels like they popped up in quite a few places. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, yeah, we've maybe seen like 7 or 8. I'd have to really think about it.
Yeah. It's really not that many in the grand scheme of things.
No. But then we got the other horrifying aspect of it's time to meet our next member of the Sweet Three, Smoothie, who, as Tamako is talking, takes a servant girl, picks her up, wrings her out like a washcloth into a cup. And then, like, apparently it's pleasurable because it has hearts next to it, even though after she's finished wringing her out, this girl is just drained to nothing but like withered skin, and she drinks this juice that came out of this girl. Like it's nothing.
I feel like there are some inappropriate jokes I could make about this, but I'm going to.
I mean, they seem.
Stay in my head. I don't. If it wasn't for the heart, I would not have been like, huh? Because it looks painful.
It looks extremely painful, but I guess by having it come across as pleasurable, it lessens the horror of it all. Because, good God. It's also if I'm not mistaken, unless she just happens to be tall, she seems to be a long leg.
She is. Yeah. I don't think that's a reveal or anything.
No, it just seems to be that. But yeah, Minister of Juice, member of the Sweet Three, acting as security for all this. And with a bounty of 932 million berries. We are almost at Jack levels.
Yeah.
Which, so. I'll be honest, I'm going to take a wild guess here and say whoever our final member of the Sweet Three is going to have over a billion.
We are kind of escalating, right? Because what Cracker was... He was
800
like 7 or 800s. 800s, yeah. So that feels like that would make sense, especially if we're saving the third one for last. I guess we learned his name last week was Katakuri. So whenever we see him,
yeah, I don't know much about that one, but one was defeated beforehand. Luffy just took care of Cracker, and now this definitely Smoothie here seems to be our next step up, which is certainly interesting. But the reason they've asked for her help is because, they know that Pedro is here. He showed up 5 years ago to steal the poneglyph and has apparently returned to infiltrate the island. Peckham's begged them to spare his life back then. So why now that he comes back? This we know what he's after. So we're going to have to protect it. This is the most valuable thing. And then it's revealed that Brook, using his soul power, has been listening in this entire time.
Yes, of course. So, that also, like, raises the stakes on their side of things. Luffy and Nami get captured. Sanji's, off trying to get married. And Chopper and oh my God, Carrot are in the mirror world, and now it's like, okay, now we have these guys, but we certainly, we have some obstacles in the way.
for sure. It's like there's, basically Brook reports the guards don't wane, not even for a moment. So it's like, and Pedro's just like, man, did all our hopes vanish once Tamako learned that I was here? I was hoping we could do it while Luffy's group was waylaid, but we gotta do this. We need these road poneglyphs, and it's if we don't get it now, it's gonna be almost impossible to get it later. So we have to do this now. So let's do this, and that's when Brook asks what does Baron Tamago want? Pedro just responds, me. And that's when Brooke just says, are you willing to be a decoy? And Pedro responds, I was just thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, these two are kind of badass together. I'm really liking.
I want a movie with these two. Like this particular like combination of characters ended up being really interesting. And maybe it is just because like Pedro is such like no nonsense that Brooke kind of like he's still a little silly, but he's more business than usual too.
Very much so. It's been a great showcase of Brooke. I remember when he first joined, we always said about it, I was like, man, it's hard to get a grasp on Brooke, but at this point he's definitely part of the crew. He just has reached that point, and it's I still love seeing it.
Yeah, this has some of my favorite Brooke moments.
Yeah. But we still have an SBS before we move on, and I love the ridiculousness of this one. It's like who crunches their ice, who doesn't? Which is fair. I guess that leads to the question: Do you crunch your ice or not?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I used to crunch my
teeth
ice.
Is ugh.
See, I used to crunch my ice, but I've stopped over time. I also don't have ice as much anymore. I've found out that apparently it's actually healthier for your body, weirdly enough, to have room temperature water rather than cold. It doesn't shock doesn't shock the system or something like that.
Weirdly enough, I actually drink room temperature water mostly because I'm too lazy to put like water bottles in like the fridge and stuff.
Right, and that's where I'm at.
People think I'm weird for it, but
I've gotten used to it. It doesn't feel weird anymore. Water. I get it from there. Yeah. It just stays its normal temperature, and then I just drink it whenever. It's like it doesn't feel weird. Any other drink, yes, I want it cold, but water,
yeah.
But yeah, the ice crunchers are Luffy, Usopp, Chopper, Robin, and Brooke. It's funny that Robin's in there, but not Frankie.
Yeah, I don't understand why these characters, but you know what? Sure, I'm all for it.
Yeah. We also learned that Reiju is 3 years older than the rest of the boys. So she's 24, the rest are 21. And it's like, I wonder why Sanji turned out so different. Must have something to do with German science. And I was looking at this, and then we have like them all listed. We had F, S minus, S minus, S minus, S minus. I was like, that's their blood types. That's right. Oda was talking about blood types before. And that's when I remembered that Sanji has a really rare blood type.
Yes, he does. And I think I mentioned that when that got brought up. I was like, there's probably a reason for that.
Yeah.
Here's your reason.
Yeah, exactly. It ties into his brothers, but it's also like, is that, what point does that have? Because I can see it. I can see Judge being the type to be like, yeah, we're going to make you have this rare blood type, but I don't know why. So.
I don't know if there is any point to it other than to kind of say that his body is modified.
Yeah, I guess that's I guess that's a good way to put it.
Sanji is technically a failed cyborg.
I just realized that. Never mind. I was misinterpreted something. Or the look of it. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to that next chapter. 847. Luffy and Big Mom. And
this chapter cover,
whoever requested this, bravo. Like, that is so good as a concept. Like, I saw this felt like a Tales from the World.
Yeah, like a cover story. Yeah.
That's how good the request is.
The request is good. Oda adding the touch because it's just like they're all happy. The Tontadas are here. Heroes is sobbing. He's in the foreground, just bawling. And that's what got me. Like, oh no, my heart. And of course you got King Riku out in the peeking through the window like a creep.
That's so good.
This is a fantastic one.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic.
This is probably my favorite of the covers this week. Easily. Man,
this makes me miss Dressrosa.
Yeah, what a good cast. What a great cast.
So good, man.
But we start our next chapter in the mirror world, and well, Carrot's been captured. Chopper's been captured by Brule, and they're getting ready to cook up Carrot.
I completely forgot about this scene, so I burst out laughing when I realized what was happening. Like, Brule really is kind of owning up to her character as like the witch of the woods. It's like, I'm just gonna just boil you in a giant pot, and of course the pot has a face and is alive.
Right, and I love this alligator here. It's like, I don't eat humans, but I'm willing to lower my standards to try mink.
poor Chopper's just trying to plead. Like, she's not a real rabbit. She's not going to taste as good. And I love that, even the alligator's like, it's like a thought. Maybe I'll pass.
And Brule's just like, yeah, shut your mouth, you creepy reindeer. She got the type of animal right, so that's good on her. It's like, you're going to the collection of freaks, and that's when Chopper's like, okay, managed to get us this far. They tied me up in heavy point form so I could just transform to slip out of the chains, and it's been at least 6 hours since I used Monster Point, so that's at my disposal too. So this is my chance. And and I'm like, oh, what's Chopper got planning here? I was like, what's he up to? But we don't see it right away because we instead go back to the chateau into Big Mom's library where, she is a true freak.
This is like somebody showing off their like collection of Pokemon cards, but like in the most effed up way imaginable. Well,
oh my gosh!
Because it's like if the Pokemon cards were alive.
Yeah, and being kept in these books. A manticore escaped from the underwater prison, impelled down. A unicorn that's again, and they're pinned in there like bugs, like the bug collecting. And it's living inside the book, and Big Mom basically explains like anything within a book is eternally ageless. It only makes sense, right? The contents don't change each time you open the pages. It's the power of my son Montdor, who we saw earlier capture Luffy, and we even see there's the Dosakoi panda, and there's Kinoko Beto is the other guy. I'm like trying to read that, but I don't even know what that is. I
don't know either. Kinoko means mushroom, but I don't know what's going on there. The Dosakoi panda is that's a good writing gag, and of course you just hear the help me.
All the screams and the cries coming from the books, like, oh, that's a cursed library. She's showing this off to the Vinsmokes.
Yeah, I love that even they're kind of freaked out by it. And even these guys who we seem to be total scumbags, they're all like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. We got a clone army, but this is
yeah.
But I also love how Judge is showing his defiance a bit to Big Mom. Is like, from the moment we've entered your lands, we've seen truly a vast assortment of peoples. And it's like, but I couldn't help but notice that you lack giants. And that, that sets her off.
Yeah, Big Mom not pleased. Yeah, for a nation, that possesses to house all the species, I find it odd to not see a single giant. And then she just immediately turns back into, is that so? Probably just a coincidence.
What's Big the story behind the giants? That's interesting.
Yeah,
you think
that is very interesting indeed.
Why does she not have any giants? That's And she, of course, wants to be able to breed giants to everybody big, but I wonder if it's not being able to get him, or she has an innate distaste for giants because they're bigger. It'd be my only guess. Because she's talking about having everybody at the same table. So that leads me to think that there's some sort of jealousy to the giants.
Ooh, that might be
rather than anything
I feel
else.
Like it's a good theory because it's clear that she's like, whatever happened, like she's kind of angry at her relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from their side, maybe it's from her side, but there's something here about this where the mention of giants is just.
I mean, if Ines
We
Lobby
don't-
was able to have some giants, and I don't know, I feel like she'd be capable of procuring a giant. So it's something more than just not being able to get one. So quite curious about that one.
Yeah. I do feel like it is the face she makes is like it's a kind of face that we've not seen her make this whole arc.
Yeah.
It's a level of disgust that feels kind of truly elevated.
And she's even annoyed at the one guy being nervous around Drummer 66, 66, especially Ichiji and Reiju. It's like, it's just a stupid comic strip has ruined your brains. But
that's very funny coming from a manga.
Yeah. But they go back. They get the page 55 in there, and that's where Nami and Luffy are being held, looked over by Perowin, the eldest son of Charlotte, or Perospero, excuse me.
Yeah. Perrodin is that's just the sound he makes.
Oh,
he's another freak.
And Nami's just immediately asking, "A shower, please. Can I get a shower? I am very sticky because of the rain from the syrup." Which, thinking about it is like, no, that would be gross. I don't like that. That
is kind of it's inconvenient. But interestingly, we got this a lot of Big Mom this set. But she's here on the phone talking to Luffy.
Real quick, I don't know if this is extra detail on this part of the translators, or if it was in this way in the original Japanese version as well. But great detail to have Monkey D, Luffy, and Nami both listed on the page as it's being flipped to show their cage.
Oh, that is it. I did not notice that.
Yeah, I don't know if the translators did that, or got all that. And
I can't tell. But as a letterer, if I had to do that, it would be very hard.
It seems
having to
really
match
advanced.
The curvature, which is something I had to do on another project very recently. So those scars are fresh, but it's also equally likely that it was written in English to begin with. You kind of, half and half. I really can't tell.
And it's not all gibberish. You see condemned, prisoner, jail, but I also see gang in there. So, and the page right before, so I'm like, does she have something on Beige?
Yeah. Who knows?
That's very interesting. Also, moving on to the transponder snail that for Big Mom. I love how it's dressed up like Big Mom. Like it goes the extra step.
Of course. He's got the hat.
So she gets to get to speak, and I didn't realize this at first, but yeah, they are both nailed through the palms.
Oh yeah, yes. Which I feel like, I mean that. For Luffy, who's clearly like trying to stretch to escape, but it's still painful. But like, oh, poor Nami.
Yeah, definitely more so. Nami is like, and she's honestly taking it like a champ.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah. And basically it's like, you didn't come here with your entire crew, so I was afraid you'd forgotten your promise at Fishman Island. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna pound you flat someday. But for now, I'm just here to get Sanji back. If you want to fight, I'll take you on right here, right now. It's like, nah, don't get full of yourself. You're just an arrogant squirt. But if you forget all about Sanji, I'm willing to let you walk out alive. Because Sanji and Pudding's marriage holds a very special meaning for me. But at any rate, you need to stay here until everything is finished. If you rob me of my delight, then you're really going to regret it. Oh, gosh.
That's a good close-up.
Oda's done a lot of good close-ups on Big Mom that make her just seem unhinged.
No. And again, I really feel like she is a step above a lot of the villains we've seen up to this point in like the best way. and that she really is truly dangerous.
And she reminds Luffy, is like, hey, remember you gave up all the King Neptune's treasures to me as a sign of contrition? What do you think was among those chests? Well, One of them was handed down on Fishman Island throughout the generations, the legendary Tamate box. Now, why would Neptune let something like that slip through his fingers? Who can imagine what's inside the paper? I'm trying to remember. It's like, it's not the thing that just made him extremely old, right?
No. Well, that's what it was originally, but the whole story behind this was like somebody, after they originally got stolen by, like, I think Vanderdecken or whatever, they put a bomb in it.
Oh, that's right. It is just a bomb. Oh my God.
Yes. I was about to remind, I would like to remind the ladies and gentlemen of the audience, that's a bomb. Big Mom is like, ooh, the Tamate box. I'm like,
oh my God. I forgot all about that and the potential of that coming back in some way. Yep. Oh my God. That'll be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing was, the other thing is, it was originally, it makes them strong, but also ages them rapidly, right?
Yeah.
Which would be really interesting, because Big Mom, I think, would be able to counteract that effect due to her power.
Oh, right. So it would have been a way to just kind of, bulk her up, basically.
Yeah, she would become even more powerful.
Yeah. That. Oh man. See, I'm actually really in love with the idea now, and I'm sad that can't happen.
Yeah, that really would have been interesting. But also the fact that there's literally a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Which the Straw Hats don't even know about, right? It's only the royal family.
Yeah, only Neptune and the royal family know, and they were kind of, because I think Neptune said something along the lines of well, it's been there for a while, so maybe it'll just fizzle out, and they're just kind of it's nice to be positive. So, yeah, man, I feel like this arc really is just Oda throwing out a bunch of all right, we're gonna throw a bunch of long plays, a lot of Chekhov's guns, a lot of things paying off in weird ways.
I wonder if Jinbei knows. I can't remember if Jinbei knows that there's a bomb in there.
I don't know either, actually. I don't remember if he was there for any of that. Yeah.
I can see that being kind of a way to finish off Big Mom in a way, where she's weakened and she's like, I need whatever's in the Tamate box, I'm going to take it, and then it just explodes in her face, and that's the end. If they actually get into a fight with Big Mom. But man,
it's a nice reminder thank you, Big Mom, for reminding us that amongst all the other moving parts we have in this arc right now, we also have a bomb.
Beautiful. Oh. And Luffy's, of course, just obstinate as always. He's like, you're not going to have any fun because Sanji's not getting married. Let us see Pudding. Let us talk to her. She's our friend. And Nami's like, no, forget about... It's like, this freak mom was like, friend, don't be an idiot. Why would you be friends with the bride-to-be? And you, girl, what's this I hear about you killing Lola? It's like, no, Lola's my friend. She gave me the Viva card as a sign of friendship. Lola wanted me to tell you she's doing fine. She told us that her mother was a pirate, but I never would have guessed it was Big Mom. She said you would help us out if we showed it to you. She's like, nah. And Big Mom immediately dashes out. It's like, no, you've got to be joking. I don't care if she's doing it right.
Hey, you guessed, I think you asked a couple of weeks ago, it was like what is sort of Lola and Big Mom's relationship? What is the reaction going to be when Big Mom finds out, oh, they have Lola's Viva card? She's like, tell me where she is. I will have hitmen sent there to get rid of her for good.
Big Mom's ready to kill.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's interesting because from Big Mom, she's like, I can't believe she still thinks of us as mother and daughter. Meanwhile, Lola seemingly had no
truly
indication
loves her.
Had no indication that Big Mom hated her.
I mean, it's also I'm curious, what is this political marriage that Lola spurned? Because
it's interesting. That's what she was setting up, and of course we're seeing flashbacks to Thriller Bark, and she's like, you can she's ready to get married. That was kind of her whole thing. But and that seemingly, despite all of that, whatever marriage that Big Mom set up for her, she was like, no, I'm out.
Yeah,
and seemingly, despite doing that, still said me and Big Mom are cool. It's fine.
Yeah, she just wanted to find love on her own. But But apparently, it was going to be a massive amount of power that she would have gained from Lola's marriage. She would have been able to, according to Big Mom says, I would have already destroyed Kaido, Red Hair, even Whitebeard by this point. I would be the king of the pirates at this point if it wasn't for Lola doing that. So if you're a friend of Lola, you're going to tell me where she is because I'm going to get her. I'm going to get her back for that. And I love how Luffy steps in and is like, that's stupid. It wasn't Lola. It was Lola who didn't want to get married. And it's you who failed to become king of the pirates. Here I am picking another fight with you. And I'm not backing down just because you're one of the 4 emperors. I'm going to take Sanji back. And at the end of the day, we're going to win. And that sets her off. I love the defiance of Luffy here. It's so good. It's
I love that because she's like bitter about it, and Luffy's just like, "Hey, that's the skill issue, man. That's your problem."
And I think that's the other thing is that she, other than her rampages and the stealing of the souls and whatnot, a lot of Big Mom's whole thing is dealt with either by her family or through these marriages. So it's a different way of gathering up a power, and it's hard. It seems like her love is extremely conditional. Are you useful? Yes. Then I love you. If not, get out. You're dead to me.
Which, hey, not unlike Mr. Vince Smoke Judge here.
True enough.
It's a lot of bad parents running around. I do like. I think we learned what the marriage that Lola spurned was. I think that is information. It's not information we can do anything with right now, but it is intently fascinating.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
But we break from that to see Sanji just begging everyone to leave me pull back. It's like, Sanji, you have to know Luffy at this point. You know that's not going to happen.
He's not gonna. Yeah.
And the Pedro has been caught, has been spotted, and Tama goes after him, and the chase is on, and all the while Brook is like, "All right, it's time to commence a special live performance," and that's how we end the chapter. It's like, Brook is on the move. I love it.
Yes. Man, that was a good chapter.
Very good chapter. Oh, well, let's get to the next one because it's going to get better and better with.
It's going to keep. Yep.
Chapter 848. Goodbye. And very interesting style for this color spread.
Yeah, it's very like flat.
Yeah, I almost wonder if it's. I'm looking at the teddy bear, and I almost wonder if it's the coats are supposed to be the same texture as the teddy bear.
So they killed his family and wore his coats.
It almost makes me think like they just sort of like if it was one of those more expensive books where you have like you can actually feel the texture itself. But
yeah, this is one I really want to see in color. Because like it doesn't just look like Oda's typical like marker artwork. Like it looks like it might be some kind of, I would not be surprised if it's some kind of like material that he brought into it, or maybe it is just like very precise marker work, but like you can't tell any like depth from it at all, which it almost feels like something's been like cut out and glued on it.
Yeah, it feels so weird, especially when you look at like Luffy's glove and how it interacts. It's just like something feels off. It's interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
But we get back into the story itself, and the family there is just laughing at Luffy's like, oh boy, picking a fight with Big Mom. That's so dumb. And Luffy's just like, shut up, let me out. Let me out. And we got more of them, like a really young kid coming through. It was like riding a bug. He's like, we got an infiltrator in the treasure room. Let's get in there. And his whole thing is he has to start everything with Nin. This is Anglaise. But they're all being pulled away thanks to Pedro as well. And I forget the cloud's name.
Zeus.
Zeus is like, well, aren't you angry? He's like, nah, why be angry over some feisty little shrimp itching for a fight? Oh yeah, he even says it here, Zeus.
Yeah.
By this time tomorrow, I'll have Germa's power in the tamate box, and I'll be chowing down the greatest wedding cake you could ever imagine. So I can look over all of that because tomorrow's gonna be the best day ever. And
the way that she like her mood swings are just so funny. Because she's just like, oh, I'm so happy.
Because her hat gets a report. There's an infiltrator causing trouble near the treasure repository where she's like, they better not be after my tomato box. Who is it? So there's a lot of moving parts going all around. And we see Sanji just pacing. It's like, okay, I made a deal with her. She's going to let the gang go. If I just get married, I can save the Baratie too. It hurts to split from the crew, but at least nobody will die. Okay, I just need to stop looking tense because it'll just make Pudding upset. I need to tap into my old self. So, let's get these let's get these hard eyes in, get the usual Sanji. I'm a cook of love. I'm going to make you happy. So he's like, he has to pep himself up into his usual demeanor.
Man, that's sad. And I feel
really
like it kind of recontextualizes almost. Like, it makes, when he goes into this mode, it almost feels like projection now. It feels like it is sort of like a side of himself that he does have to tap into.
Yeah, it's more, it feels more like a front than anything else. Like
exactly.
He goes
yeah.
into this.
Yeah. I kind of see him differently that way from here on out for that reason.
A little bit, especially because, he has to lose himself in the only source of happiness that he can find in any of this and go into that goofy side. But yeah, it's, but we go into Pudding's room and, it's like, yeah, this woman had the Viva card and used it to overpower the homies in the seducing woods. And also find out that it's fascinating here because just looking at it from like what's going on with Pudding, it's like, oh, the wedding dress you chose has been rejected. You'll need to wear the dress that Mama picked out. So she has also put together your post-ceremony plan. So it's like everything is controlled for her, which is...
Yeah, exactly.
Again, it really plays into the surprise of it all because you don't think...
Yeah.
Anything again, it all plays into like, of course she'd want to help him. She's so controlled by Big Mom. Why would she not rebel a little bit?
Yeah, and you see this little scene where you see Lola just going like, kill me? No way, we're mother and daughter. Like, I'm gonna pick out my own husband, and you kind of can understand why, like, from Lola's perspective, she doesn't understand that what she did to Big Mom was like, a grave offense. It's just like, she wouldn't kill me, right? Like, we're family. And then from Pudding's perspective, it is sort of like all about that control. And so it's interesting too, again, with what we get to later, but like she also lacks freedom in her own way. And I feel like we saw that too when she first alluded to, like, way back at when they first met the Straw Hat, when she first met the Straw Hats and was like, oh, my sister went out to sea to find love on her own, and had a kind of like a wistful almost, like,
she's very much parallel to Sanji in how she's treated by her family. But as we can see, the reactions to how they deal with that is extremely different. We'll get to. But as after that whole moment, we see Pedro staying away as all these guards are trying to get a hold of him, and Pedro's too fast. He's tearing through them. They can't get a shot off. He's dropping bombs. Like, he's being really badass,
like, running on the walls and stuff. Like, he's like an action movie hero. It's so sick.
And Tamago's going after him, and that's when he gets a call from Smoothie. He's like, hey, you were right. There's another one. Yours is the decoy. And Tamago's just like, oh, you conniver. And the decoy slipped past us into the treasure repository, then locked the doors. We got sloppy. He's like, oh, it only has one door in or out, so as long as you hold firm, there's nothing's ruined. It's all good. So, if he defeats the guards, we'll just... we'll kill him when he comes through. He's like, no. If he's the Bone Man, that's a freak that Mama wants. So half kill.
Which
I love that collection. Big Mom is a Pokemon collector.
She is a Pokemon collector. Yes, I love because we see Brooke kind of into the treasure room And I love that the guy's like, well, here's a real odd one, even for this country. And Brooke's like, I agree. It's just great.
Yep. And we get an explanation on the Peacekeepers, soldiers with human souls inserted into them through Big Mom's powers. I don't know if they're like already soldiers or they were chess pieces that were then given souls. I feel like they're humans given souls and then dressed up as chess pieces, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Not sure either.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, you're moved by your souls, so let me take advantage of that. And they're all trying to chop at him. He's like, no, wait for me. You aren't familiar with my epithet, are you? I'm the Soul King. And oh, that's a badass look. Having his soul come out, all them knocked over. God, that's awesome.
It kind of turns out Brooke is the hard counter to Big Mom.
I love that. That's amazing.
It feels like this is why we have Brooke. This is why we have Brooke. And he's just gets to almost, with even more ease than Luffy, right? He just takes them all out in one slow, and he's just like, you're lazy, slapped on little souls could not stay on their feet in the presence of my soul scream. And it's just, heck yeah. But really, like, again, Brooke and Pedro are really, they're carrying hard.
They might be the most effective team of this whole thing. Like, I know Luffy took out one of the Sweet Three, but as far as just consistency, they're killing it.
Yeah.
But we turn to the prison library where Pudding has decided to visit them and visit Luffy and Nami, and talking with Opera, who's our cream man, and is like, all right, sure. And I love the way they go into the book with a bookmark. It's so ridiculous.
I love that. Yeah, I feel like I hadn't quite realized that they were still in the book.
But they're immediately like, hey, what's the deal? We went to the shore and you weren't there. And it's like, oh, they're listening in. And she's just like, so they got you. I'm so sorry that my brothers and sisters did those horrible things. I also wasn't able to keep my promise to meet you there. And she's sort of whispering to him, and Opera's like, what's going on over there? Which, again, Oda plays this hand so masterfully, where you just don't suspect anything. And to just match it with Sanji picking flowers for her and saying that I wanted to let you know that Sanji proposed to me, and it was a wonderful feeling, but I know he's just being considerate because my presence here is causing pain to everyone. So don't worry, I'm not going to marry him. Listen close. And she just says something to them that causes their eyes to darken. And it's like, wait, what did you say? Goodbye. And she has tears in her face as she's walking away. It's like, is she going to sacrifice herself? What is she going to do? Like, oh my God.
If the payoff for this was not in the set of chapters, it would be a brutal cliffhanger.
Yeah. It's one of those things like, what is she going to do?
Yeah.
How is she going to sacrifice herself for this? Or like, how far is she willing to go? Especially because that reaction to the two of them, it is so well played.
Yeah, it is. It shocks them completely. So it's just like, I don't know how you would interpret this other than like, I'm not going to marry Sanji because like, I'm going to put myself in danger somehow. And well, I guess, because you think about those flashbacks again to Lola, and it's just like, is she gonna like leave? What is she going to do to kind of get out of this?
Yeah. And it creates its own like mystery that you're like, wow, what is she up to? Especially after all those flashbacks and everything. It's like, oh man. But we'll have to see what comes of that. Well, we've hinted at what comes of that, but we'll get to what comes of that later.
We'll come back to that later.
Instead, it's time for chapter 849, Chobro in the Land of Mears. And this is just a simple one. Just Brooke with tadpole notes. That's cute. It feels like we've gotten this request from Noda Skywalker before. Like they've seemed familiar.
No, he'll come up a lot.
He has a lot of requests.
Basically the only name I recognize from all of the people who request. Even now, I think there are still Noda Skywalker ones.
So we begin the chapter checking in on the Vinsmokes, who are just asking like, hey, where's Reiju? And she went out earlier. And they're all talking about, like, okay, so after the wedding, where are they going to live? Where's Sanji and Pudding going to live? And Judge is immediately like, with Germa, the girl needs to be our hostage, or who knows what sort of demands they'll make of us. These people are pirates. It's like, well, wouldn't they want a hostage too? It's like, don't be stupid. What would threatening Sanji mean to us? So,
and even Yonji's just kind of like, good point.
Yeah, and Ichiji's just like, I can't wait to get to live with Sanji again. It's like, oh man, it really, again, all the layers about how these plans are going to interact with each other is, I can't wait to see how it all falls. Because, it's going to be interesting. But we instead cut over to Brulee's Mirror World house, and they're getting ready to cut the rope and eat carrot finally, and that's when Chopper narrates to himself in his thoughts, Brulee sealed her own downfall. That's not Carrot. It's just a frog that Brulee turned into Carrot with her powers. The real Carrot is hiding above the ceiling and doing the voice of the struggles from the frog.
I love that nobody seems to have noticed this.
They're just enjoying it. It's like, we still don't want the frog to get cooked, so we're going to make sure of it. But there are 16 enemies in the house, and the ones who are in trouble are going to be Randolph, the rabbit guy, Brulee, of course. I love this. The Aristocroc.
Yeah, I don't think he had a name.
No, he didn't.
First time we learned his name.
And a smokestack man known as Diesel. So, that's the plan there. But as things are they're getting ready to lower the fake Carrot in. Carrot starts to wind up and whips something forward and just conks Randolph out immediately before he can cut the rope. And it's like, wait, there's something above the ceiling. And here comes Carrot to get the frog, kick over the boiling pot right into Brulee as Chopper goes into Brain Point and then into Monster Point, and it is just brilliant use of Carrot's electrical powers to use her electrical Luna to use the water current to shock all of everybody else into submission.
Yes, and then of course after that, we have Chopper going into Monster Point and just suplexing the Aristocroc just
into another guy.
Great. Yeah, it's pretty rad. Like Chopper doesn't get a lot of action scenes, especially it feels like lately. But like this whole sequence is great, and I'm really glad that like
real
they actually got to work together.
Chopper.
Yeah, and that Carrot actually wasn't the damsel. She was not as in over her head as we were led to believe. And so they actually did manage to just painfully scald Brulee.
And she's fast enough to catch up with Diesel, who immediately runs off. Is like, once I get running, there's nothing in the world that can. And then here comes Carrot with a guard shoe. Well, it's like, ow, what the heck? And she blinds him and crashes him. So they successfully take out Brulee's forces. The frog is safe, and we can now use the mirrors to travel all over the island and find Sanji.
All right, so hey, that's something. They managed to make progress on their end too, which is
it really does seem like
sequence.
Luffy's group is the one that's struggling the most, which he's done the most direct path. So that's not surprising.
Naturally, yeah.
So, while they're doing that, Sanji gets a report that Luffy and the Cat Burglar are in chains. The Soul King and the Male Mink are raising hell all over the place, and the cars have not been able to find Chopper and Carrot. And he's like, all right, I don't need to hear this. Just, did you bring the ingredients? It's like, yeah, but if you're feeling hungry, I could bring a meal. I was like, nah, I want to use this kitchen. So Pudding didn't show up for that last meal, so I'm going to cook her something because I'm a bit concerned for her. And you can see he actually arranged all the flowers he picked.
Yeah.
So he's gonna cook for her, which is nice.
Yeah.
But we check in on Brook, and he has successfully taken out all of the guys in this room, really showing off what he can do. I
Yeah,
love that
it
he
just
doesn't
has
have
a
to.
beautiful dodge with the swallow banderole. Or, no, that's the other guy's attack. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I think that's his attack, but either way,
Hmm.
a
Oh
nice
yeah, because
showcase.
he's dodging and then hitting, then cutting
Yeah,
through him. I think. Okay, that makes sense.
it's just a nice showcase for Brook, especially because the overlapping of swordsmen. We need to find some way to make him unique from Zoro, and I think we finally hit that point.
Yeah,
Because it is a very different swords fighting style.
yeah.
Um,
It is
but
definitely like much more like Fit Sing, and of course with the soul and kind of ice powers, and just that the way that he has this dedication to Pedro in this dialogue where he's like, I asked my partner to risk death itself for me just so that I could get in here. I've got to leave with what I came for. Of course, otherwise he'll lose all face, even though he has none.
so I've got to hurry.
Well, yeah.
He's successfully made it to the poneglyph, which is pretty great. However, not so good for him because
yes.
Big Mom herself shows up in front of Smoothie and it's like, who dares interfere with my fun? Who could be so foolish? And it's like, oh no. And that's when she's like, wait, what are you? It's like, I like you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Brooks going into the collection.
Not so good for Brook.
Yep. I love look at Big Mom is such a wild card that she can just show up anywhere.
It surprised me so much that she showed up that my first thought was like, is she a decoy or somebody's pretending to be Big Mom? I was like, no, that's bad. That is Big Mom. She's just that worried about the Tamate box, not letting that to chance. But we get to the courtyard, and Pedro's been pushed back, and he's been trapped in the courtyard, and like, this is what they're playing at because Tamago's waiting.
Yep, here we go. This feels like a revenge match almost.
Oh, it very much is revenge match because, we meet face to face. The scars over our left eyes twitch with rage. Why would a man who clung to life so fiercely 5 years ago return to repeat his mistake? After all, you have barely any life remaining to begin with. For on that fateful day, and Tamago takes off his shades, Mama stole 50 years of your life from you. It's like, oh no. It's like, yeah.
And
Tamago, not Tamago, Pedro reveals his eye that shows that he has a matching scar. It's like, hey, I'm under no illusions. I don't intend to return home alive. It's like, oh man, Pedro. Did not expect a grudge match with Tamago.
Yeah, right, of all things. Also, a somewhat important detail for later is that Pedro's old pirate crew was called the Nox Pirates.
Oh, yeah. So, interesting. And then we get something extremely weird that I still don't fully understand yet.
Yeah, we don't have an I know what this is. We don't have an explanation for it yet.
It's just Reiju going through one of the hallways, bleeding profusely from one of her legs, looking extremely exhausted. Something got Reiju, and we have no idea what it is.
Yes.
So... mysteries abound.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like you said, there's a lot going on right now. Like this feels like we're sort of, I guess not quite the midsection, but kind of near the, I guess the end of the first act, basically. And so it feels like, yeah, and it feels like we're kind of nearing this sort of midsection where we have all of these different little plot lines all kind of doing their own thing. This is maybe the part that feels maybe the most like Dressrosa-esque.
A little bit, yeah. Where it's like, things are on the move, things are happening, but it definitely feels like a shift is in the works.
Yeah, we are. This definitely does feel like the. I guess even like a tone shift. I feel like maybe that started with the Sanji versus Luffy fight, and that was sort of the beginning of the downfall.
Yeah, very much so. But there's still a lot that has to happen, and it's like, but. I mean, of course, it'll get elongated once proper fights start happening. But when that happens, that's also going to be a big question. But we'll get to that later because for now we do have an SPS, but not much to say just a count of how many times the readers have stolen starting the SBS. How Heracles would be really bad at Shiratori, where you lose if you end a word in N. So he always ends his words in N. And of course, pointing out the stuff that I noticed with Sanji reading books about Noland and the Devil Fruits.
Yeah.
So nothing too crazy, but let's go ahead and get to our final chapter for this set. 850, A Ray of Light. And, man, remember smoking areas?
Yeah, right. I wonder if they still have them in Japan.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know they've basically ceased to exist here, which is kind of nice.
Oh,
I have,
for sure.
I have asthma,
Yeah.
so that's
Thank
just
God.
really nice to deal with.
Facts.
But we get into the chapter itself with Carrot and Chopper on the hunt for Amir into Big Mom's castle. And so far, all they're doing is freaking out everybody. Whether it's women in the makeup or surprising a woman in the bath or Chopper surprising a man in the bath.
So many great faces. And I love that they've recruited Diesel to be their transportation. And he's got toot toot.
It's amazing. And they've also recruited Brule because that's how they're able to use the mirrors. As long as they touch her, they can do it. But they don't know how to work it, so they have to wait till she wakes up.
They have reduced. Brule was so. She was so scary when we first encountered her, and now it's just we're just dragging her around.
Oh man, God, I see this and I think of all the dangling characters we have that stuff could happen with, whether it's Caesar or Jinbei.
Oh yeah.
Like where are their roles going to come back in?
We've got Beiji here somewhere.
Yeah. The Vin Smokes, of course.
When you think about it, the focus has really narrowed in this set. We have all of this stuff kind of happening in the periphery, but it is kind of all about kind of the individual kind of groups that we're following right now.
Mm-hmm. So, it's interesting to have a tighter focus then go wide, because usually Oda goes wide and then goes tight.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So there's been hints. There's been enough that things are moving. But it'll be interesting to see. But there's so many great little touches here with Sanji cooking. Because he's like, oh shoot, I got in the groove and cooked the usual way. Pudding's not going to eat this much. And we see the lunchbox that he would typically make for Luffy.
That he's still he can't break those habits, right? Like he's been cooking for the crew for so long that he
I love that Oda brings attention to the lunchbox with his dialogue, but it just leaves it subtle for the next panel, because in the next panel you see chocolate and oranges, tangerines for Nami. He's subconsciously cooking for Nami as well. Yeah, and I think chocolate's probably there for Chopper. So they're still on his mind. It's very subtle, but I love that it's like he's definitely fooling himself.
Of course he's absolutely fooling himself. He can't. And we saw him, the couple chapters ago, where he's just like trying to get into his usual lovey-dovey self, and it's just like he's putting on airs, and he just can't escape what he truly is.
Yeah, and again, great character writing for Sanji, but he's just going for a walk to bask in his only ray of light remaining. So he has food, he has roses, and let's see how he does. And whatever Pudding said has really gotten Luffy just motivated to get out of here. And I didn't think anything of it. I thought he was just that desperate to get out and find Sanji when I initially read this, because I thought that Luffy was always wrapped up in his own arms, like that the enemies had did that. But I realize now that no, he wrapped himself up like that so he can literally snap off his own arm so he can break his rubber.
Yes. And
so he
you
can
see the
actually
little
lose his arms and get out.
You can see the little boosh sound effect. Like you can see him bleeding. Like he's stretching himself so hard that he is like his skin is starting to cut.
This is reminding me very much of Zoro being like, well, we can't get out, so I might as well just cut off my feet. So if I want to survive, I'd rather 100%. Be alive and not have feet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the way the Luffy speech here is just kind of like, while we sit here wondering who's going to save us, we're losing everything, and then Big Mom is going to kill us at the end. I'll be damned if I die in such a stupid and pointless way. You rip off your arms too.
She's like, no way. It's like, I'm going to stop. She's like, fine, I'm going to solve this problem, so stop yelling in my ears. Like, listen, I don't want to watch you rip your arms off. It's like, stop complaining. I am not going to die in a place like this. And it's been so long since I've seen Luffy this desperate.
Yeah. This really is like whatever Pudding said to them, right? Like, is that like, I have to get out of here. I cannot waste any more time here. So like the urgency really it's boiling over at this point.
Oh man.
Yep.
And it plays so well once you actually know what's going on with Pudding. Mm-hmm. But we take a break from that to show what's going on with Pedro, where we learn that as the former captain of the Nox Pirates, his bounty was $382 million. Very solid.
Not bad.
And then Baron Tamago himself, $429 million. Not bad. Especially as, outside of Peckham's, the only member of Big Mom's crew that doesn't seem to be family.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually kind of weird that, like, oh, yeah, these guys aren't families of Big Moms. They actually are just regular pirates.
I wonder if they married in.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Because
yeah.
I wonder if he's just enough of a freak, but he's also willing to go with it.
Yeah.
They decide for it. But we got a clash here, and we get this reminder of, we got a flashback as they're fighting. It's like, oh, you're under the Big Mom Pirates, Peckhams? And it's like, hey, Pedro, Zeppo.
So that's
why do I feel like this is Beppo's?
Beppo, right?
Yeah, this
like
definitely is a relative of Beppo. This has to be.
And I love both Tamago and Pedro both saying, you're going to lose more than an eye this time.
But of course, they get caught, and we see that roulette wheel that that was brought in front of Jinbei. It's like, hey, your partner here spun the roulette wheel. The punishment, 100 years life. And he only had 30 left to go. So that means you owe me 70. So
wow.
Whew. So yeah, Zeppo's dead. All the rest of the life of him stolen. Jeez, it's just, and Peckham's begging. He's like a brother to me. Don't kill him, please. Take less. And she's like, hey, taking Tamago's eyes is a heavy price, 60 years no less. And also during the fight that Tamago is wearing tights that block the electro powers, so he's ready for Pedro.
Yeah,
I like that it's a decent fight, but it also is. I'm much more interested in this backstory.
It's very character rich, right? And then like the next part of the, I guess it's literally an eye for an eye, right? Like his punishment for taking Tamago's eye was 60 years, and then he's like, "Here's my eye. How many years?" Which is she's just badass.
Yeah, he rips out his own freaking eye. That's amazing. It's like the day of the dawn of the world is nigh. I must return home. Is like, I like you. 50 years, and so
enjoy your life. Wow.
And perfect name for one of Tamago's attacked. Legs Benedict.
Legs Benedict.
Bravo.
10 out of 10. I'm assuming that's the translation doing some lifting. I don't know what if that was the original Japanese pun, but like fantastic. Yeah, no notes. 10 out of 10.
But Tamago's taunting him. It's like, why have you come back? Why return to the Isle of Nightmares where your partner was murdered and you lost 50 years of your life? And Pedro explains, Straw Hats saved my homeland. I owe them. And I am certain that they are the ones who will guide the world to a new dawn. They shall surpass you all and change the world. There's no better way to use the last remnants of my life than in their service. But I'm not dying here because they haven't fulfilled their reason for being here yet. So I am not dying yet. And he slices Tamago in half. We see the egg yolk going, which is just weird. He really is just an egg man. I don't know if Tamago is dead, but he is cut up and the yolk is gone.
Yeah, it makes me wonder which came first, the Baron Tamago or the egg.
That's a good question.
I did want to point out, though, that because Pedro has made multiple references to it, the concept of the dawn of the world or guiding the world to a new dawn is sort of something thematically that is going to be very important.
Oh, I imagine so.
So it's something that it has kept coming up. I wanted to bring it up when the Cat Viper first showed up to fight Jack, but I didn't think it was quite like relevant enough yet. Like it was sort of a he brought up the dawn, but like it's not really that important. Like here now that Pedro is mentioning it a bunch, I feel like it's worth pointing out. And
the fact that they feel that the Straw Hats are connected. How did Cat Viper say it in regards to Jack?
Oh no, his intro was like, "I'm the one who waits for the dawn because he's the king of the night," and is sort of kind of the concept of sort of like the day versus night. And
and it ties into the Mox pirates because
exactly. Yeah. No, this is a whole thing. So I'm pointing it out here so that people know that I did that.
Yeah. Huh. But Sanji finally arrives at Pudding's room, but the door won't let him in because apparently she's indisposed. And it's like, oh, I just want to give her something. It's like, nope, you got to go away before I slam in your face. So I was like, well,
I don't like the idea of my door having a face. That is
it
not
is
privacy.
Very odd. there is no privacy here. That probably explains Big Mom's information network because everything has a face.
Yeah. The hills literally have eyes.
Yes.
The walls have ears. Like it's all true. Oh God.
But Sanji remembers that there's a veranda outside Pudding's room, so he'll go there through the rain.
He's gonna go peep.
It's like it's kind of like peeping, but we're gonna be husband and wife tomorrow. It's not like there's a crime she's changing or she's naked.
So he's still, he's trying his best, man. He's trying to get into character.
Yeah, and then he hears her laughing. It's like, oh, good. There's nice sweet Pudding. She's laughing. It's like, wait, is she talking to somebody? And then he spots Reiju. Like, what is? And not only doing?
That, but like she's like stone cold face.
Yeah,
yeah.
There is no emotion on her face. She's just sort of stunned. And I noticed that the little slime guy that hangs out with Pudding is like on her lap. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if that's part of like what's causing her to be stunned like that. That'd be my best guess because we flip the page and we have Pudding laughing just completely evilly, revealing that parting her bangs so we can see that she has a third eye and just starts screaming out, "You've got to be dreaming. Me marry that stupid thug? Of course not. I'm Mama's favorite, especially when it comes to my acting. In fact, she's so fussy over me that it gets annoying sometimes. Still, it's so easy to fool men when Mama asks me to. Those Straw Hats never stood a chance. Only my family knows what I'm really like." And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, there it is.
I was shocked when I flipped that page. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, it's a good, because Oda really plays it close to the chest here. There's not really any indication that Pudding was like, certainly not this like literally like mustache twirlingly evil. Like she's just straight up cackling. Like she's just straight up revealing her true colors. Like yeah, it's but it makes sense, right? Like as we said at the top of the show, right? Like it is cruel. Poor Sanji.
It's extremely cruel. Sanji says, like, oh, the poor guy still can't get any luck in love. No, and that's the thing. She played it so hard. Like, it really did feel like we talked about shipping. He's like, oh yeah, I ship them. It's like, damn.
Because like the concept, of course, like they have similar hobbies. You know, she's just like such a sweet girl, and you're like Sanji as a character really, I feel like it needed somebody like Pudding. You know, like somebody who is just kind of like she's like almost too perfect, right? Like the perfect girl for Sanji, and it just like as sort of the one like, well, if he's going to be forced into this marriage, at least it would be with somebody who like is at least just like the nicest person imaginable. But of course, he can't even manage that.
No, and when you think about the real time, because I forget exactly when Pudding was introduced, but maybe like 20 chapters ago at this point, which you think is like a good 4 or 5 months. So 4 or 5 months real time getting to like seeing more and more of Pudding, like, oh, she's so sweet. I wonder what's going to happen there. Like what's going on. I wonder if anybody at the time suspected her before this happened.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, the thing that I think the biggest thing for me is that like she did stand out relative to the rest of like Big Mom's family, right? Like she was definitely the most like kind of aggressively nice one, compared to all of the rest who are all like goofy or kind of like all business or, you know, insane. So that might have been it. And there might have been people who maybe were like, because now we have to reveal that Pudding has 3 eyes, and back on Fishman Island, when we first saw Big Mom on screen for the first time with that phone call, she was like with somebody, with a girl who had 3 eyes, and she was just kind of like off like in the foreground, and you're like, who's that? It was Pudding.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that character. I don't even remember if she said anything at the time.
She did not.
Okay, she was just around. That was your only clue from Oda.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, even like
to think back and be like, where's the girl? Where's the character with the 3 eyes?
Yeah.
Which,
of course,
technically you could think of. Maybe that's the one that's part of the Sweet Three. The best of the Sweet Three. There's so many characters. Again, there's 50 odd kids for Big Mom. So
yeah, something like that. And of course, it is paired with this reveal. With what we learned a couple of chapters ago with you know, Pudding leaving Luffy and Nami just like, you know, in tears saying goodbye. And then so we cut back to the library, and you know we're seeing that like she's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna marry him. If you want to know why, it's because that love-struck idiot is gonna get riddled with bullets during the ceremony, courtesy of me, and you're not getting out of here alive either. And we see her like, that's when she puts on like the evil face, and then she switches back to like that, like the crying sweet little girl goodbye. So like that, I feel like that just goes to show just kind of how two-faced she is.
Oh yeah,
and how quickly she can change on a dime,
and gives that context to why Luffy is so desperate now.
Yeah. That she was gonna ruin us ever since the beginning.
Yep, this is always the plan. I have no chance at this. And that's, you know, going back to Big Mom's words, like, normally I would never forgive this, but the wedding's too important. It's like, no, she didn't.
Oh yeah.
This. She didn't. Yeah. She always did. And again, it just shows the true challenge of facing a emperor. It's like this. This is
faced with overwhelming power. Like this is like overwhelming, like institutional power. Even an empire like Germa has just been caught in the trap.
Yeah. That's the thing. I had the whole theory about that Germa is going to be the real villains here, and that like, we're gonna have to team up with Big Mom in order to take care of Germa because they're planning on whatever they're doing, and that's how we maybe don't defeat Big Mom, but maybe ally with Big Mom was how I was going for it. And then you could sort of keep the Pudding relationship. It's like, no, that's all tossed down out the window.
Yeah.
That theory
it's definitely more leaning towards the opposite now. Or now that we're kind of, you know, learning here from Pudding, you know, she's like, yeah, you call yourselves an army of evil, like just stick to the world of imagination, you clowns. Like she's just dunking on everybody at this point, right?
Yeah.
And that, you know, all Mama ever wanted was the scientific power of the clone soldiers. And so it is just like, you know, they're going to assassinate the entire Vinsmoke family, and it's like, So now, you were thinking, we got to team up to fight the Vinsmokes. We got to team up with the Vinsmokes to fight Big Mom.
Which seems like a big ask. I mean, okay, all of a sudden it makes more sense that now we have a fighting force to join up with in order to better take on Big Mom's whole crew, whole thing. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, we have our way of getting the forces we need, like we did in Dressrosa.
Yeah, certain. I mean, if
it's
anything,
much more unsavory because it's literally
definitely.
Like, oh no,
we've seen them, right? Like you don't want to work with them.
No, they've kind of got Nazi iconography. I was really looking forward to them getting punched, and they might still get punched. Like that's the thing. It's like I don't foresee a solid allyship here. There's not going to be a good break here. I think it's just like, let's take care of one with the other. Let's join up to take care of one, and then we'll go against each other. That's how I see this going down.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
For now.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I did want to point out, because it's interesting, because we saw Reiju bleeding out at the end of last chapter, and here she is. I was wondering if that scene took place after this, because she's injured and bleeding now.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
not entirely sure.
I'm not 100% sure, because she's still able to talk. She's like, what a sweetheart you turned out to be, and she's definitely being held by that slime guy. But it's hard to say like what exactly is going through her mind. But laying it out there, like the entirety of the German kingdom is moored within our borders. We wafted out the sweet, irresistible scent of a political marriage with Sanji, and you flies took the bait just as she planned. So the entire Vinsmoke family is going to be put to death and during the wedding.
Of course, crucially, Sanji heard everything.
Yes. Sanji heard everything. Every bit of hope is gone. Yeah. And now it's like, what does he do? If he goes, does he tell the family? Will they believe him? No, they won't believe him.
Yep. Yeah. And he's cut his ties with the Straw Hats. It's an interesting that like he has been trying to put the reins on an untenable situation. He's been trying to gain back control and accept his lot in whatever way he can. And now none of it mattered, and his life is in danger, and technically the life of his family. I'm not sure how much he cares, but
maybe Reiju, but also like Luffy's in danger and all that. Like everything he's done is still in danger. The only thing that will be safe is Zeph.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, he's also going to die. So this is not ideal.
Yeah. This arc continues to like. It feels like the past 3 sets have just been making Sanji suffer more and more and more. Like it's like we have saved up so like making up for the lack of characterization pretty much since the start of the time skip. Just all of like his worst aspects, born to bear. And now the past like 15 chapters has just been like, this is like the worst 24 hours of this man's life.
It is so bad, and who knows what'll happen next. I mean, in the grand scheme, it seems like a team up with the Vinsmokes is a possibility, but I don't see that happening. And at least in a direct way, it's going to be like enemy. It really is going to be like, I'm just tentatively teaming up with you, but it's also like I don't know.
Well, and it's interesting now. So I know why Pudding is doing this. I assume the explanation for that will be next week, as for the reason why she is just outwardly telling Reiju all of this. Because I feel like just being like, hey, your whole family's going to die, and I'm just like, oh, I'm evil. No, I think
it seems there's
a reason why. There's a reason why. Yeah, like it's totally fine. But
I typically just like overconfidence because you think you have it all in place.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely, it comes from the source of, being part of an emperor's family for sure. But it does like, what benefit does telling Reiju this information have? And, like, I guess like, hey, you could you could go back and tell your family, but like, at what point, what good would this make?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Things have taken a turn for the worst.
Yeah, and I have no idea where it's going to go from this point.
Yep.
It is like all I can think of is the opposite of what I was saying before, but I don't want this arc to end without Sanji beating up at least one of his family members. One of them deserves it.
They have it coming. Judge, man, like he can't get away scot-free. Like he is too objectively evil.
This has to be taken care of. Like neither side is great. Like it's Skypiea, like where there's like three sides, but two sides were good, one side was evil. This one is three sides, two sides are evil, one side is good. So I was like,
yeah.
Oh boy.
So, man, no, we are so we're in the thick of it. Like this really is like Whole Cake Island's. I wouldn't even say like it's best stuff necessarily, but like we're getting all of like just like that good gruesome emotional storytelling that just I'm
the true shift.
I'm
trying to add on to it.
Yeah, no, this is the true shift. Yeah, this is sort of I feel like we are kind of exiting the setup phase. We have all of our players set, and now we're going to be, the classic One Piece fashion. We're going to be moving the chess pieces all around the board and stuff like that. So, things are going to continue to get fascinating. I know of a couple things coming up. I think next week is also going to be really good. So, man,
it's hard to not just start reading right away.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll see what comes of it, because with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 846 to 850 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube, or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games, and my job. And that's actually, I guess by the time this episode is out, I forgot if I mentioned on the show or not, I'm going to be hosting a panel at an anime convention about my job.
You did not say that, but you did not mention it before. Yeah. And I saw that today on BlueSky. Made sure to retweet it so people could come check it out. Unfortunately, by the time this goes out, it's probably going to be too late.
Yeah, it's going to be super too late. I will do my best to signal boost it, every at least once a day. Of course, it is at the public library in Greensboro, North Carolina, hosting a free one-day anime con. So and I will be there alongside acquaintance of mine, Daniel Dockery, who is he's written for Polygon before. He's written a book called Monster Kids about the rise of Pokemon in the 90s and early 2000s. And one of the other guests, he's I forget his name. I feel so bad. But he's the English voice of Mirio from My Hero Academia. The guy who can like slip through stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good lineup for a one-day public library con. Like that's
right.
That's neat.
It's gonna be my first time, right? Like I guess being like a guest at an anime con. So I still got to make the PowerPoint presentation to talk about my work. But if for whatever reason you live anywhere near Greensboro, which is sort of central west-ish North Carolina, come swing by. It will have already passed by the time you're listening to this, so I hope that you could swing by if for whatever reason you're anywhere near that. I'll try to go into as much detail as I can about it. So hopefully it'll be fascinating to somebody.
I think you'll have fun. I think it'll go over well. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Keep an eye out for that. And if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DerrickBitner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes, which includes us talking about Universal live shows at of One Piece. We're talking about one of the smaller ones for the kids. For this our next bonus episode. But yeah, I love covering just the weird aspects of One Piece. So
yeah, One Piece is a multimedia empire.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And believe it or not, that this one will be our 20th. There's 20 bonus episodes now available on the Patreon. If you guys want to check that out, I think it's a good value. But yeah, there it is. And of course, make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 851 to 855 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
You cannot honestly be that naive. You think I'd marry that low-life pirate? Ha! You must be out of your freaking mind. Not a chance in hell.